Hi everyone, this is Jamila from Love Mila. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today I want to discuss some of my sewing goals for 2023, so please stay tuned. Before we get started, I just want to thank you to returning to the channel. If you are new, welcome, and if you are existing subscriber, welcome back. This channel is about sewing content, but it's also about travel and a lot of different things that I love to do. So today we are going to get into some of my sewing goals for 2023. I accomplished a few things that I wanted to accomplish for 2022, and a lot of those I just want to continue for 2023. Alright, so one of my goals, which I'm probably broken already, but it's still the beginning of the year, so I can definitely improve, is being better at planning out my projects. Like, realistically, the time frame that I have, the time that the project is due, you know, those kind of things, without staying up all night and like stressing myself out or putting too much pressure on myself, but just being a little bit more realistic about the number of projects that I want to get done, because everything is so nice and beautiful and new patterns. And sometimes I don't like to put out sewing plans because I really want to stick to them, but time doesn't always allow me to stick to them. Sometimes I have deadlines for like events that I want the garment for, or a person that I'm sewing the garment for, etc. So with everything that I have during the day, I just have to be more realistic in planning out my projects and being more meticulous. I know people have like planning, not planners, sewing planners and things like that. I'm not sure if I'm like there yet on the sewing planner, but I need to be a little more intentional about when I'm cutting, when I'm, you know, just all those kind of things. So maybe I should get a sewing planner. I feel like I don't need more things to write down, but I should definitely stick to a bite-sized goal. I know some people use like the sewing 30 and a little bit each a day. For me, that doesn't work so much because I'm actually a slow sewer. So that's number one, being real about the time that I have to sew, but like how much I get done in that time. I really do need like a good hour to really feel accomplished, because I don't know, I'm not a zoom kind of sewer, like, oh, I made this in 2 hours. Like, I don't know, I'm just not that kind of person. And I really like to enjoy sewing. So I just need to, again, be realistic about who I am, why I sew, you know, and when I can actually get a project done. So not the quantity, but the quality of the makes and how I feel when I'm making my makes. All right, my second goal for 2023 is to finish up some unfinished projects. So I have some from last year. I probably have some from the year before. I have some really cute stuff, and I just need to get back to it because I stopped it for one reason or another, or I had to jump into another project, or there was something about it that I wasn't feeling, or an instruction that I wasn't getting, and I just need to tackle it and move on. Yeah, so I would like to go through that pile for me really not to have any unfinished projects, because I paid money for those patterns, I paid money for that fabric, and I need to just finish up my project because they're all, you know, pretty cute. And if they're not pretty cute, then I can always do something by donating them or selling them or doing something with them later. So they need to be done. All right, number 3. And this is in no particular order. I would like to have more home decor. So I think in, I'm not sure, one of my earlier videos last year, I did kind of a life update, and I was saying how we moved to a new home in Georgia. So, you know, new homes, I have a lot of decorating to do, like to make it my own, and I have a lot of home decor ideas and that I will want to start knocking out. So I just want to take a season or maybe a month or so, and especially with like spring and summer coming, and you know, just inviting people over, I would like something fresh to be on our cushions outside, and just new curtains, just things like that that I know. Number 4 is to use the stashes that I have. I'm not really big on buying a lot of fabric, you know, but like I don't have a huge fabric stash, but I do buy fabric, and I do have some beautiful fabrics that I really need to just use before I go into buying more and develop a larger fabric stash, because I really just don't want beautiful fabric. And Sherry Thomas actually made a really good point in her Elevate with Ankara series, and she was talking about the different Ankaras that she has, and she was saying about one fabric in particular that is too beautiful to just be in her sewing room. Like, it needs to be out, it needs to be seen. And I really like that idea. A lot of the fabrics that I pick are really beautiful, and so I don't just want them in my sewing room. Like, I need to use them. They need to be seen before I buy something else and forget about it. So, and again, those are dollars, and I just don't want to like waste money and, you know, like you buy something great and then put it in storage. Like, no, I want to use my stash. My pattern stash, I have a good amount of patterns, and I think I was just building up a stash, but when you start to build up patterns, you begin to notice a lot of patterns that are like styles that are done over and over again by different pattern companies. It might just be a change of detail. This one has pockets, but this one doesn't, but they're exactly the same. Or literally, they could be like exactly the same type of pattern. So I think once I've gotten to a certain point, I slowed down on buying patterns, because I was like, oh, I have this already. I have something like this already. And I do quite a few modifications anyway, so modifying a pattern is something that I don't mind doing. So I don't need to really buy more patterns unless I really see something that's boss, and I'll buy that. Indie patterns I haven't gotten into so much. There are a few companies that I do really like, but yo, that cut and pasting, that is a deterrent for sure for me. And there is a person, I want to say Saraji, I'm sorry, I will get her name right, but she did do a video on projector, like how to use a projector to cut your patterns, and so that might be something that I'm interested in, because I really do like ideas from different people, and a lot of indie patterns have those types of ideas and more of the style that I'm looking for, while not really big or type patterns are more on trend, like fashion, like designer trends, and then you see them translated into patterns. But I'm not a trendy person, and I don't really like fashion trends so much. I like a lot of out of the box type things, and so a lot of the looks from the indie patterns are appealing to me, but the work with the indie patterns are a deterrent for me. So perhaps that will change, I'm not sure. Anyway, the goal is to use more of my stash. So what I have, I want to be able to use. So this is number 5, I believe. So I would like to use more of the presser feet that I have, learn how to use them, and probably purchase more presser feet if I've researched and determined that it's something that is time saving or like beneficial. For instance, I'm okay with just using a regular zipper foot for an invisible zipper, even though lately I've heard Brittany J. Jones saying that it was kind of a game changer or a time saver. Aside from that, I've been interested in like a blind hem foot, and a lot of my blind hems I do without a foot. There's just a technique that you can use on the sewing machine that has been fine for me, but if an actual foot makes it even better and quicker, which, you know, if that's the case, then why not use it? Another thing is I want to be able to proficiently use my buttonhole foot. I haven't been, my automatic buttonhole, there we go. So just some features that I have been doing without, even though I bought a sewing machine with these features, and I'm sure that they will save time. So I just need to be a little more cognizant and patient with my projects to be able to learn these things, because I've been sewing long enough where I should be able to like do it in. So it's not a deterrent for patterns that have that feature, that detail. So using more feet and more technology that helps me sew. That is a goal. Okay, so number 6 is make more for my family. So I want to make a video about my little one, which you may hear in the background, and sewing for little boys. There aren't many patterns for little boys, just like there aren't many patterns for men or males in general. And so I want to highlight some of those. And also, I want to just make more for them. And I twin sometimes with my son, and we can all be, it's not twinning anymore, but tripleting with each other. And that makes like fun photo shoots and like cool things like that. So last goal for 2023 is to not sew. Not sew at all. Okay. And it's so funny that Mimi G had a couple of videos recently about her knitting, because I don't knit, but I do crochet, and I crochet off and on. I used to crochet a lot more, but I would be impatient with the process of like a long blanket or something like that, and I'm not like great at crocheting, so I do crochet alongs. And so I would need to take some time off of sewing for like a break of sewing to just focus on crocheting, or crochet sometimes in between the projects, in between my sewing, something like that. But there's times where I cannot sew, like I can't bring my machines if I'm traveling a lot or I'm doing, you know, something else, and I don't have access to my machines, but I still want to do something with my hands. Like, okay, sorry about the whole change. This is another day. My battery died, so I have to re-record the last thing I said, and I just finished making or shooting pictures in this poncho that I made, and so I figure I might as well keep it on and finish this video while I'm in the process of shooting. So, but my last one was to not sew at all and do something different. So let me show you all something else. I always buy like a bunch of art kits from Hobby Lobby whenever I go. This is just a simple paint by number kit, but I like to paint, and I don't paint often. I don't allow myself to sit and paint, and I'm not sponsored or anything, but this is also like paint by number, so I don't have to think about, you know, just like mindless painting, mindless art. I think I might have something else that I actually started. This is a mindful making kit, and this is punch needling. So I have never done this before, so it's something new to me. And you have a what is this called? Anyway, it's like a hoop. Yes, I think it's called a hoop. I don't know the technical terms, but it's a hoop and has a screw in it, so you can make the hoop larger or smaller. And it's like this mesh fabric. In fact, let me take it out because I started it, but I did not get far along with it. I think we were going somewhere, or we were in Hawaii, something like that, and I couldn't bring my sewing machines. And so I like to bring other things that I can be creative with, especially if I'm like chilling on the beach or just chillaxing and I want to still be creative. And so this is as far as I went, but I think it's super interesting to be able to learn with new tools and things like that. But so I want to allow myself to do those things that I like to do as well. So I'm going to try my best to try that this year. Not so. And that's about it so far, and I think that those are, you know, a good amount of goals that I'm going to try to stick to as much as I can. And please let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you have any goals this year. I know a lot of people are doing make 9s, and let me know what you think about some of my goals and not sewing. Do you have other hobbies? Do you do other things? I'm sure a lot of us do. Do we really take time out to do all the things that we want to do? Thank you for clicking on this video. Don't forget to put a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll talk to you later. Bye. You know, just more mindful about plans in the beginning. All right.